Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at Hedera Hashgraph. If you aren't already, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll get straight into it because we have really come down to a key monthly demand area now with Hedera Hashgraph. I did make a video 5 months ago outlining this area, which is why I'm so excited. You might be able to hear the excitement in my voice today because we're finally got there. We've finally got to the level, and patience has been really key with Hedera Hashgraph up to now, and I think we might be in for a very good start to the year. So I think what makes the most sense is if I play that clip from my video 5 months ago, my first ever video that I did on Hedera Hashgraph, you can get a better idea of what I was saying then and where we are now, and we'll do a deep dive into what's going on with Hedera Hashgraph, some key levels that I'm looking out for, a final potential dip that may be the opportunity of a lifetime. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not sure if this wick is really actually a back test. I would not class that as a back test. So I would still, on the higher time frame, really be looking for this monthly demand zone to be hit. And as you can see, guys, from that video back in June and July, we did get a bit of a rally back in the market, a nice pump to the upside, 30, 40, 50%. But really, that was a sucker's rally, and we've started to finally move down to the monthly demand area that we was looking for, and that's taken quite a while, really. It's taken about 7 months, so patience has been the key here for HBAR, but that's why I'm so excited, because obviously as these months go by, people get less and less interested in the market, people become bored, people become even more fearful because they've been buying every single rally on the way up, and now we finally are at a zone of interest, key zone of interest. People get too scared and don't really want to make a move. So if we jump into the lower time frames now, we can get a bit of a better idea of what's going on in the waves, a potential final dip down that we can look for to around the 3 cent zone. But yeah, let's jump straight into that. So I have taken us to the 3-day time frame now, and this is on Binance, so we can get a good idea of what's going on the lower time frame, how the waves are developing, and the market structure that we might be expecting to see play out over the coming weeks and months. So really, if you do have a look from a zoomed out perspective, I didn't mean to do that. If you just have a look at this breakout level here that we used as support before finally going on that massive run to the upside, it's finally starting to come back into play. And you can see that from the monthly demand zone that I pointed out earlier. But really, you can start to see that these bullish candles here and the wicks that needed to get filled are finally starting to come in and get filled. So that's really a bit of context to the left of the chart there, just so you can get a better idea of what's going on. So we'll zoom in here and you might think, well, what is going on here? Well, let me explain. This is really simply a bit of a descending structure. I don't really like to focus too much on patterns or shapes in the market because they're very manipulated, and that's why I've got the 1.618 here for a simple Fibonacci, trend-based Fibonacci drawn out, and that could potentially come into play because people do like to try and trade these shapes, and you know, if they start to see a bit of a breakdown in the market like this, they might start to say, well, that shape is irrelevant now, and then we finally get a move back up to the market what people was expecting. So the market does like to move in waves and move in ways that people are expecting, but it gets there in a way that people don't expect, if that makes sense. So if we just take these little bits of drawings off the screen there, if you can imagine, we finally get that move back down to the 1.618. We have a look to the left there, it comes in and finally fills these candle wicks down here, and then we can start to accumulate, and that would be a spring phase in the market, I think, where we just come down for that final dip, bit more panic, nice percentage drop, 25-30%, something like that, and then we finally start to accumulate again for HBAR. And I'm not saying we have to get that dip down, because to be honest, in the last couple of days I've been accumulating HBAR at the bottom of this range, just simply because if we look left, it is where the big major bullish candles came on the weekly and higher time frames. So that's what I was looking for. So when it comes to HBAR now, I think on the lower time frames it can get quite complicated, because you can overcomplicate it. Basically, you don't want to overcomplicate it, you want to keep it simple. We're at a key zone now where HBAR has been on a massive run before, so it makes sense to me to start accumulating. And obviously it's not financial advice, but that's just for me. So if we do now have a look at these trend-based Fibonacci's from this simple high, swing low to the back to the high, we get the 1.618 for a potential final dip, and that would come in below and manipulate this fair test off the trend line to the downside, get everyone scared, and then probably bounce back up in a Wyckoff accumulation structure. And then we have the minus 1.4 Fibonacci, from the trend-based Fibonacci, that comes in and starts to fill these candle bodies and candle wicks. And we've got this zone here where we've got in between the wicks a nice bit of illiquid zone that the market might want to come back to. So if we just now use this trend line to the upside where we have key reactions, if you can imagine, we get that final dip, we start to get some Wyckoff accumulation, don't really give anyone much chance to get back into the market, come back up, and then as everyone starts to get really bullish up here, all the move has taken place. What would that be? That would be about a 300% move against Bitcoin. Obviously, HBAR is showing some signs of strength against Ethereum at the minute as well, which I pointed out on my Twitter the other day. I'm not going to go too much into that chart at the minute because I just want to focus on the USD value. So yeah, let's just, all we need to do is just stay patient here. Don't get too scared if we get that final dip because it's prepared for at the 1.618. Everything's looking good at the minute for HBAR and in the market as a whole. I think crypto is set to pump, and I think it's going to be an explosive January, February, March, April, because we've had a very, very boring period over the Christmas holidays. The months before it have been flat, and I think everyone's still calling for you know, the Bitcoin 14k, 12k, 10k, and it's still in here. And I think this pump would just really catch everyone off guard. So staying prepared for this big move that might come in HBAR, accumulating down here, prepared for the final dip lower, looking at the high 2 cent zone or the lower 3 cent zone. Not really too much to worry about, in my opinion. The risk to reward here, really, really good for HBAR. So in my opinion, obviously it's not financial advice, you know that and I know that, but obviously it's just an idea, and I can see this playing out massively. And you know, if we have a little zoom out here, that move would be really nothing in terms of what HBAR has done in the past, and nice simple retrace, profit take, and then possibly even start to reaccumulate back at the lows again. And you know, if we break the lows, perfect, we've taken profit, and then we can start to really, really benefit from any manipulation in this range. So even if it takes a year or so or 6 months, it doesn't matter too much to us because we've been patient. We've had these levels marked out for quite a while. So yeah, guys, I hope this video has been useful anyway. I know I've been rambling on a little bit there and it's gone a bit off topic. But yeah, if you don't mind, smash this video a like, subscribe if you aren't already, comment, let me know what you think of HBAR, let me know what you think is going to happen, and once again, I will see you next time. Cheers.